Nolan's new film, Oppenheimer, is a biographical movie about Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb, which will be released in theaters on July 20th. Who is Oppenheimer, and what is the story of this film? Oppenheimer is based on the American bestseller, American Prometheus, The Triumph and Tragedy of J. Robert Oppenheimer, which depicts the life of Oppenheimer intertwined with success and tragedy. The plot of Oppenheimer will describe how Robert Oppenheimer led the development of the atomic bomb in the famous Manhattan Project during World War II. The film will also explore his conflicted inner world as a scientist who discovered that his invention had the power to destroy the world, and thus fell into a moral and conscience dilemma. But in the situation at that time, he had to destroy the world first for the sake of world peace. The film will also discuss the complex issues that Oppenheimer faced in the fields of science, ethics, and politics, as well as his views on nuclear weapons and his involvement in the nuclear non-proliferation movement. Robert Oppenheimer was an